What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to look at price points for two different upcoming PlayStation games. We got Astro Bot and we got Concord. I first saw Astro, but I thought, you know what? Both of these may be controversial in their own way, so let's just throw them in the same video. So what we'll do, let's handle Concord first. I'll put like a timestamp so you know when Astro is, and you can skip around the video, but let's talk about the prices and let's talk about my opinion on it. So Concord, actually, this one was straight through PlayStation, right? Astro wasn't, but Concord literally went up early on the Australia PlayStation Store, and it was listed at $60, which would convert to $40 US. Now, you'd have to do the conversion on your own end for all the different currencies, go from Australian to, whatever you are, but $40 in the US. Now, here's the situation, okay? That's not all that bad. $40 is a pretty reasonable price. That's what Helldivers was, right? Helldivers 2 is $40. However, and I was under the assumption, at least for a little, I wasn't in the assumption when I saw this price, but I did think for a time that this was a free-to-play game. I don't know why I thought that, but I would say, including when they showed it at the State of Play, I literally, in fact, you probably can look at the live stream, I probably said at some point, well, if it's free and, the beta will be free, the game's free, like it's not that, maybe if it's okay, like it'll do fine, all these kind of rationalizations, right? I literally thought that at the State of Play. Now, that has changed. Like, I have seen people throwing around price points. Since then, I was like, oh my God, wait, this game is going to cost money? And then here we are. So when I saw the price, I wasn't thinking free. If you thought this game was going to be free up until literally a minute ago, and then you see this would be quite a shock. Look, I don't think it's going to work personally. That's my kind of skepticism of it. I'm willing to be won over. We've talked about this before, but I'm not a huge fan of how this game looks. I think it just looks a little too generic. Now, it's not my speciality. It's not something that I'm all into. It's why I want to play the beta, right? That thing in July, okay? That beta in July is so important, especially now with it being $40. Look, again, $40 is not terrible. It's not $70, the classic new price for games, right? It couldn't be. I mean, if it was $70, the game would be screwed. But I will say, like, you have a game like Marvel Rivals coming out, and that's free to play. A lot of these games, not all, but some are free to play. I don't know, for this game to be $40 and to be in a realm where some of those games are not $40, they're free and they've been out for a while, I don't know how much this game stands a chance. Again, it's really, for me, it's going to depend on that beta, right? It's got to capture something that what we saw it didn't capture in me. Now, that's my own personal opinion. If it got you, it got you. If it didn't get you, it didn't, you know what I mean? Everybody's different. But, that's kind of where I would stand on that. $40, not horrific. I honestly would, look, if you're going to charge for Concord, I wouldn't expect anything less than $40. What are you going to charge, $30, $20 for Concord? That's never going to happen. I even think back, because people are bringing up Destruction All-Stars. Now, Destruction All-Stars was originally on PlayStation Plus. I really think that would have been a good idea for Concord, where you could do both. In fact, I think Destruction All-Stars was like that. I think it was 70. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Was the pricing for Destruction All-Stars 70 at one point? Or maybe it was 40, but you could do it through PlayStation Plus. So I would have preferred, that's how you get the free model, right? So you have Concord, it's out on PS Plus, it's free, but then if you want to buy it and say on PC, right? $40 and then PS Plus, that might incentivize people to get it. I don't think it would get that many people, but they could think that, right? You get PS Plus, you get it for free. Maybe that happens. Maybe if it's like a slow start to the game, you might see free weekends, and maybe honestly, eventually, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in, you might see the game on PS Plus. So again, we'll really just have to see how the actual gameplay feels when we're able to play it. Now, on to Astro. This one is a little bit more exciting for me because I'm more into it. So this one was found, and I believe this listing was actually completely taken offline, right? So this originally popped up. It was spread on Reset Era, and it was priced at 7,980 yen, which is equivalent to $60. $60. Now, I almost think, you'll have to actually tell me in the comments, like, which one is more controversial, right? Because Concord, I think a lot of people are just so, put off by it, / maybe you assume it'd be free. Whereas Astro, it's going to cost something, but you don't know how much. So like if you're expecting 30 or 40 and then it comes in at 60, which one is more startling to you, right? Right, the prices. I think it's Concord. For me personally, I think it's Concord. Astro, $60. Okay, here's the great comparison I would say to this is Sackboy. Sackboy, A Big Adventure. That game is very, very good. I own that game and I beat it and I really liked it. And I don't know, I just feel like, look, a platformer with the amount of levels that Astro has. They've talked more details about it even since we last talked about Astro. It's 3 to 4 times the size of Astro's Playroom, which was a meaty game. For being a free game, there was a lot in that. And considering the trials and being able to try to perfect your runs and whatnot, I would say a lot of value, number one, for being free, but just a lot of value in general. Fast forward to Astro Bot. I mean, I feel like there's going to be value. So, again, you can come in saying, well, I want it to be 40. I want it to be 50. 60 is not 70. I talked about that, right? In fact, I don't know for sure, but when I predicted the price for Astro, I think I did say 60 because I said there's no way it can't be 70, right? Like they're not going to do that. So I might have been right. I might have predicted 50 or 60. So I'm okay with the range. Is it a little high? Yeah, it's a little high, but at the same time, like it's a full game. You know what I mean? Like it's a big game. I don't know, maybe like 6 to 10 hours. You got reruns and replays and all that stuff. I don't know. Like look, here's the thing. This is the kind of game that I've been asking for. That's the thing for me personally. Now, that's not what everybody's been asking for, so I get, again, the startling maybe aspect of it. I've been asking for games that are more condensed and high quality, and they got something different going on. And Astro literally checks every box, right? From these diverse type games that I want to blend in with the 500-hour open world games and the live service games. You got 1,000 of those. I want a couple of these. I want a couple of the Astros of the world. When we get them, for me personally, again, I can only speak for myself, I'm going to support them, right? I don't care if it's 60, 70, 50, I'm going to buy a game like this because this is what I've been asking for. It's quality over quantity, and honestly, there's probably a good amount of quantity as well. Levels, right? Even playtime, I'm sure will be pretty okay for $60. So I'm not mad at this price at all. I feel like, judging from what I've seen online on Astro, this might have some controversy associated with it, but $60, again, it lines up with Sackboy. I mean, were people freaking out with Sackboy? Now, I guess you could say, well, Alex, it's because Astro's Playroom was free. That's fair, but that was to get you into, I mean, it was a respect thing for PlayStation, right? The amount of lore and detail. And it was also, I would say, for the DualSense controller. It was to literally pitch it and say, look what we can, and, carrying, I guess, a character that you created with the VR game, right? So, I don't know. I feel like it served different purposes. It's why it needed to be free. I get saying that, like, where it's come from. It's been free before, so now jumping from free to $60 is a lot. It's also 4 times the game. So if it's 4 times, I mean, maybe you go up by 10s, you get to $40. Maybe that's why you're mad. Again, everybody's their own person. Everybody's got a threshold with their money. I get that, but for me, I'm not like scared off by this or put off by this. I'm getting the game day one. So let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure as always you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.